Don't do what I did and build a universe and get stuck piecing it together. Yes, it's so important when you are building with AI, or honestly, when you're creating anything, when you are creating a business, when you are writing a book, when you are putting together code. Hell, if you're painting or drawing, you start with the kind of a sketch outline, literally, and the basic shape of it all, and then you start to flesh in the details. I think a lot of time with vibe coding, a problem people will have is they will basically give a prompt like, hey, make me a Salesforce, make Salesforce for me. It's too much. So you need to start with little mini pieces and start to grow from there. It's a problem that I'm having it's not a problem, it's a choice I made in my vibe coding project that I'm working on right now, and that's going to be in the second stream in just a moment, where I kept telling myself, no, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it simple. And then a few days ago, I'm like, oh, I could just add this cool feature there. I'm just going to add this little feature, which is the wrong thing to do. You need to make sure everything works properly before you start to accrete and add more and more complexity. But I do understand the impulse to keep adding cool stuff. You do know you're training AI to stick yourself out of a job. Me, I don't have a job, so I'm good. I've never had a proper job. I've always had my own businesses. So the only proper jobs I've had was I was a cycle courier for about a year in London, and I've worked in bars and restaurants and kind of stuff like that. But I've always started my own businesses. So I highly recommend that to people as well. So I've started maybe 30 businesses / side hustles, whatever you want to call them, over the last 15 years or so. Most of them failed. That's just part of the game, really. But I think right now it's the easiest time ever to start a business, because all of the technical complexities have been removed. When I first started my early digital marketing and digital businesses, I had to come up with a product, I had to build a product, I had to make the website, I had to rig up the e-commerce, I had to do the customer services, I had to do absolutely everything myself, and I had really no idea how to do that. So your options there are you hire somebody, which is tricky if you're not making any money. You learn how to do it, which is what I had to do, and that's why it took me years to get anywhere and to make any money. And now we have artificial intelligence, so we basically have experts in our pocket. So let's say you're trying to set up Google Analytics. You're trying to set up Google Tag Manager for your website so you can track leads coming through. Previously, I'd have to go and hire somebody very expensive, Google Analytics people, not cheap. Or you'd have to dig into the Google documentation, work out how the hell to do it for your specific build, and then get the work done, which says it's either time or money. With ChatGPT now, I can go to ChatGPT or Claude and say, hey, I've built my website in this. Here's the basic layout. I want to set up Google Tag Manager. Where do I add everything? What kind of things should I be thinking about? And it will give me a checklist to work through. I will then go to my website. I will start to integrate Google Tag Manager. I will hit a problem. Again, previously I'd have to pay somebody to help me out of that hole or learn my way out. Now I can go back to ChatGPT and say, yo, I'm getting this error message. What does that mean? How do we change the plan? And it will help me through. So it's probably the most exciting time to start a business ever, because we have all of these experts at our beck and call. And I think it's increasingly important because we don't know what's coming. We don't know which jobs are safe. We don't know which companies will still be around. Hell, Google may not be around in 10 years if they can't replace their search revenue. It's going to be a very different world a couple of years from now. And starting a business or having a secondary source of income gives you flexibility. That's what's going to be important. It doesn't matter where that money's coming from per se. It's the fact that you have different sources of income in play. So I personally have about six sources of income, because I know one or two of them might get destroyed. Absolutely. But by having multiple in play, that gives me more flexibility to deal with whatever turns up, because I'm not assuming that I know what's going to come, but I am assuming something will happen. So starting a business, having a side hustle, having a secondary income, and using AI to leverage that, I think that is the move right now. And that's why I do these streams as well. So I'm not worried about my job because I don't have one, but I am worried for other people. These AI softwares are given out to the public and professionals to train them and you out of a job. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Yeah, so you need to be ahead of this, and you need to be using artificial intelligence yourself. You want to be on that side of the curve rather than the one that's going to get swept under.